Now I've added a face image to the assets here, just a test image. Of course, if this were an actual game, I would add an animation, make him walk around and such, but this is just to show how we can bump into things. So I'm going to go ahead and preload that image. This load image face, src assets face.png. And before I add the player in there, we need to go ahead and add physics to the game. So let's go over into index.js, add physics, and that's an object, and inside we put a default to tell what engine we're going to use. We'll use arcade, and in there we need an arcade object with the property of debug, and let's go ahead and set that to true for now. And then over here in scene main, this player equals this physics, add sprite, and I'm just going to put him at 100. 100 will place him using the align grid later. And I'm going to scale him to the size of the game width in proportion. Align, scale to game width, this player, and let's put him at 15% of the width of the game. And pass in the scene, this. Okay, there's our player. Now let's make him move around. And I'm going to define some cursor keys. Now normally if we're on mobile or something, we'd set up a control pad or you touch somewhere on the screen, but just for testing here. So this cursors equals this input keyboard create cursor keys. And then in our update, we can check to see if a key is being pressed or not. If this cursor's up is down, and if that equals true, then this player set velocity y -100. And up he goes. And let's do the same for the is up. And just to make sure they're not pushed at the same time, we can put that on an else. Let's do the same for the down key. If this cursor's down, is down. There we go. And you notice he doesn't stop. So what we can do is simply on the update, this player set velocity y 0. And let's go ahead and put this player set velocity x 0 as well. And I'm just going to copy this code and change it to this cursor's right. And then set velocity x to 100. Change that to left. And set velocity x -100. Great, now we can start to move around. I'm going to make him a bit smaller. Change him to, I think, let's try 10%. And a little lower, about 8%. Okay, great. Now let's add some collisions to the game.